Greetings. Nhasi toda kuita about the three-figure bearing. So in order for us to understand the three-figure bearing, it is required of us kuti titange tanzwisisa the bearing we discussed in our previous lesson. So if you do not understand our previous lesson on bearing, it is advised kuti before you actually consider this lesson, you have to first understand our first lesson on bearing. The reason why it is very important to do that, in a way kuti we are going to consider our previous lesson as assumed knowledge. So when we are taking you through this lesson, we are going to be considering our previous lesson on bearing as assumed knowledge. So let us consider a situation like this. Saka, we have a point A. This is the point A. Then for point A, of course, let us assume that you are standing at A. Wherever A is going to be our starting point, A is going to be our reference point. So we want to assume kuti wakamira pana A, wakabata canvas. As you know from our previous class, with a canvas, the point in a canvas is always going to be pointing what? In the north direction. Wakamira pa point A, wakakombwa nezvinhu zvitatu. Chekutanga chakakukomba kana kuti chawakatarisana nacho muti. Handiti? So this is a tree. Then wakatarisana nemuti kudaro. In the northeastern direction, we are going to have a round house. So this is the hut, the round house. You understand? Saka tikapedzisa panapa, we know that this is east, west, that is south. Saka this hut is in the northeast direction of A. So in our previous class, when we are defining, cannot describing the direction of the hut from the reference point of A, we are going to be saying, saka panapa we are assuming kuti wakamira pana A and you are looking in the direction of the hut. So we have two forms of description panapa. Our first description is going to be to note the hut is in the northeast direction of A. The hut is in the northeast direction of A. Kana kuti tinote the bearing of the hut from A is northeast, like this. Saka panapa we've incorporated bearing in our description of the direction of the hut from A. The direction of the hut from A, of course, and I would of A, which is then the bearing of the hut from A. Chiri panapa, we want to consider, remember ndati wakakombwa nezvinhu 4. The number is 3, I think, but actually wakakombwa nezvinhu 4. So tiri panapa, let us say kuti in this direction we are going to find a ball. Then in this direction we are going to find a flagpole. So this is a flagpole and this is a ball, like this. can you see kuti tichishandisa our descriptions kana kuti our understanding of bearing yekuti bearing should be talking about a direction, in our case northeast. Can you see kuti we cannot actually know kuti this ball really in which direction of A? We assume, of course, that this is the northeast direction of A, but it's not particular. So the bearing of the ball from A is ambiguous. It is ambiguous. Kureva kuti it's not clear. So because of that much, we do not have to describe the bearing of the ball from A using directions. Rather, we are going to use what? Angles. Saka patinoshandisa ma-angles kudescribe a bearing, ndo patinenge tichitointroduce inonzi iyo three-figure bearing. Three-figure bearing. So let us demonstrate kuti unyatsokurevei. So that is our diagram. Rikuratidza the four things which are surrounding point A, and of course we are referring to A as the starting point. Kureva kuti iwewe wakamira pana A wakabata canvas mumaoko ako. Saka tiri pano, let us start with the ball. Saka inoi ndo A. Of course, our canvas, the pointer is pointing north. Then we have this line where we have the ball. So let us say that the angle from north kuyapa this line of sight is 37 degrees. So the angle from north, and this is the line representing north, the main point north, to the this line of sight, because wakatarisa chi kuball is 37 degrees. What then does this mean? This means kuti kana takuda kuziva the bearing of the ball from A, and kana kuti not the direction of the ball of A, but takuda kuziva the bearing of the ball from A, tataona kuti we cannot use directions. Nepamusana pekuti it's not exactly northeast. Of course, it's kana tiri kugeography inenge chitonzi it's northeasterly. Northeasterly. Panozopinda zvana northeast. You remember, kureva kuti it's not exactly northeast. So because of that, no, we have to use angles pakadaro. Saka, how then are we going to name this bearing? Saka bearing inenge iri chi? Tinonyora tichiti the bearing of the ball from A is 0.37 degrees. 0.37 degrees. And 0 iri pekutanga apo yakakosha. Saka hama dzangu, manamba ari matatu aya ndiyo inonzi three-figure bearing. Iyo iyi ndiyo three-figure bearing. Saka inotofanirwa kuva nemanamba matatu. Panapa taona kuti our angle is actually 37 degrees. But for the sake of staying true to the three-figure bearing, we write it as 0.37 degrees. Understand? Okay. Saka there are protocols here in our naming of that angle. There are protocols in our naming of the three-figure bearing. Chekutanga, we are going to count the angle. We are going to quote the angle. How are we going to do that? The angle should be kutanga. Number 1, it should be from north. Ndochekutanga, the angle should be from north. But kwete ngoti kudaro, it should be what? Clockwise. Kana chiti clockwise, tiri kuti mafambiro anoita mahands ari mukati meclock, the hour hand, the minute hand, the second hand. Handinofamba ichidai so. This is the clock. Like this. My hands atinawo muno ese zvawo anofamba achidai so. Saka inoendo inonzi chi? Clockwise. Maona. Saka this angle tabva pana north, that it should be from north, but it should be in the clockwise direction. Kureva kuti tofanirwa kuverenga tichidai so. If you recall well, you can see kuti kuno kunze uku kutori neangle iriko ish. Angle yacho inenge ingori 360 degrees minus 37 degrees. Saka tangoti the complete revolution subtracting 37 degrees. Ndozvatangoita. But we are not going to say that is our 3-figure bearing. Our 3-figure bearing should be from north, yes, but it also should be clockwise. Alright, to solidify matsvagiro atinoita this 3-figure bearing, let us consider the flagpole. So flagpole yange yakamira sei? A, north, then kunoko ndokwanga kuine flagpole, and taona kuti this one is not exactly southwest. Not exactly southwest. Then let us say kuti we have calculated this angle ino ish. Remember kana tichida kukota a 3-figure bearing tinotanga pa north panapa in the clockwise direction. Saka angle inenge yakadai so. And we find out kuti angle ino is 246 degrees. Saka tinenge tangonyora tichiti the bearing of the flagpole from A is 246 degrees. Saka there is no need yokuisa 0 apa pamusana pekuti manumbers atitori nawo they are 3 already. Saka 0 inongoiswa kwekutanga kana maangles atinawo ari less than, ari acute, ari 2 digits, kureva kuti anofanirwa kuva less than 100 degrees. I'm sorry. Nakuti vezet anofanirwa kuva less than 100 degrees. You understand what I mean? Because the moment patinosvika pa 100 degrees tatova nemadigits ari 3. Saka vana 99 zvichidzoka panapa tu atidhili nemadecimals. Saka 99, 98 zvichidzika kusvikira ku0, and ndo patinenge tichiwedzera 0 pamusoro. For example, denotanga tine situation yakadai so, north, then yobva yadai so. Panapa we have something. Then toona kuti tikadai so, it's going to be 99 degrees. Our bearing would be 099 degrees. It should always contain 3 digits. So chimwe chamufanirwa kuziva ndechekuti 3-figure bearing, iyoyi 3-figure bearing ndiyo chi? Ndiyo yavanoti true bearing. Saka zvikanzi tsvaga the true bearing, chingozivai kuti i3-figure bearing. The other thing we should know is pama bearings apa titori nema bearings akadai so tina 000 degrees. tina zvakare 360 degrees. Aya mabearing ari maviri aya, they are special. But I want to leave you with a task. I want you to research this task. Saka task yedu yakamira sei? We have point A panapa. Then we have this north. Remember, north kwanga kwakatasana nemuti, a tree. Saka, what is the true bearing? What is the true bearing of the tree from A? Ndo mubvunzo wangu. It's a task. Kureva kuti, this is something you have to research. But let me provoke you a little. Are we going to say panapa? Of course, this is the north. This is where we count our bearing from. And clockwise ingekadai so. But tiri kudzokera pa north futi. Kurati it's a complete revolution, 360 degrees. So is the answer going to be 360 degrees? Or the answer is going to be 000 degrees? If the answer is 360 degrees, you have to justify the answer and tell us a situation where we find an answer of 000 degrees. If this is the answer, you have to justify it and tell us a situation where we find a three-figure bearing of 360 degrees. So this, my people, is basically the end of our lesson. In our next lesson, we are going to look at compass bearings, and they are really exciting. You are going to enjoy it. But you should know that the three-figure bearing is a fulcrum topic, not subtopic. Very important. Kazhinji panofunzwa about bearing. This is exactly the material which will be asked. Saka, please, batisisai the three-figure bearing. We are not going to have an exercise on this. Takamirira kuti tange taita macampus bearings kuitira kuti tizongopa a uniform exercise. Rather, what we are going to do is invite other students to the math hub. Saka, if you are a student, you wish to join the math hub, there are two numbers through which you can contact us. You can use a Zimbabwean number. It's available on WhatsApp. This South African number is going to be +27, then it's 761737116. So this is also available for calls, but they are both available on WhatsApp. So come, let us reason together. Otherwise, thank you for your patience throughout the class. Thank you for your endurance. Thank you for your learning, and have a nice day.